Welcome back to the channel. Real Madrid fans and Barcelona fans alike. Shout out to my boy JC Correa. I'm going to get into those bums right off the rip. But this whole video, I want to go over my dream transfer window for Real Madrid. This is a crucial time in this club, and we really need a magic transfer window in order to be, and I'll admit, be competitive with Barcelona again. I personally don't care about winning La Liga trophies. That's what Mickey Mouse small clubs do, like Barcelona. For me, the pinnacle is the Champions League. And how do we get our squad to go from quarterfinal losses year after year? We also, this trash Real Madrid team, made it as far as Barcelona in the UCL, which is just crazy. I've had Barcelona fans tell me their team's terrifying. Well, they were terrifying enough to make it to a quarterfinal exit. So how do we get our Real Madrid, our beloved, the holy ones, the great ones, the royal ones, the 15-time Champions League winners, how do we get them to 16? I don't want to wait 12 years for another Champions League like some clubs do. I don't know what clubs do that, Barcelona, but I don't want to do that. I want results. I want us to at least make the semifinals or a final next year, and I'm going to go over my dream signing window. But right now, I want to start with the Catalonians, the enemy, the rivals. That's my son in the background. I first want to just shout out and say I'm deeply sorry for your loss today. The Barcelona princess himself went down with a torn hamstring. I'm not going to be a dick about this. I actually really appreciate Lamine Yamal, despite his curly-headed fuckness, and despite him looking exactly like Ruth from Ozarks. The man can ball. In an era where soccer's pretty lifeless, people don't like to express themselves in the field, Lamine Yamal is a madness out there. He does stuff no one else does, and he is, I will admit it, the best player in the world. But at the end of the day, there's only one person or entity to blame for this injury, and that's starting off with this slide right here. The only people to blame is Barcelona themselves. They are a high-risk, high-reward organization, the way that they're constructed right now. And they play stupid games, and you're going to get stupid results eventually from doing that. They are such a high-risk organization, from the way that they play on the field to their finances to what their coach fundamentally does game in and game out. It's no wonder stuff like this happens. Starting with them and the way that they play, it will win. They play great football, a great style of football. I'm not gonna lie, I like watching Barcelona. That's great and all. That will win you your domestic La Liga trophies, the Mickey Mouse trophies. That will win you the Copa del Rey. But when you employ this tactic of the high line against UCL teams, and you don't ever change your strategy, like Hansi Flick refuses to do that, even in the Champions League semifinals 2 years ago, when they were up by a goal with 2 minutes left, they still decided to employ this high line instead of just parking the bus for 2 minutes. High risk is high reward, but if you play stupid games, you will get burnt. Just like if you were to go and sleep with exclusively strippers, it is high risk, high reward activity, but eventually you will get burnt. And Barcelona, they got burnt. You can see in this graphic, this high line works in La Liga because the teams are inferior. They put pressure on the teams. Barcelona has better athletes. They can outscore people. But anytime they go to the UCL and they play against real European sides, just look at their results this year against Atletico Madrid, against PSG, against Chelsea, even against a bum-ass Real Madrid team that is arguably the worst Real Madrid team in history. We'll see what happens in May. They still got their fucking asses cooked. The first time we played them, we won. And you know what? We won because we parked the bus in the second half. That's what you have to do to win games sometimes. I'm sorry to break that to some Barcelona fans. You have to be able to change your strategy every now and then. You can't employ a high-risk strategy 100% of the time and expect to win games. That's just a madness in coaching. You have to adjust your strategy, just like companies adjust their strategy on the fly in the business world, just like the military adjusts their strategies. Sometimes they're offensive, sometimes they're defensive. It's the same thing in soccer. You can't be 100% offensive and expect to win, especially against more competitive sides. You will get cooked. You will get cooked on the counterattack because you leave a crazy amount of space. Look at that madness against Inter Milan. They left the entire right side of the pitch exposed for a counterattack, and it doesn't work. And another thing with this high line that's just a madness is their players have to run their asses off. A guys like Pedri, who is universally hurt because they never give this guy a break. He is young, and you could say, young bodies can take this. It seems not to be the case because their players are dropping over, and you guys are the only people to blame for Lamine Yamal specifically getting injured. You have made an 18-year-old carry your franchise on their back. You've jeopardized his long-term future. You are going to. If you keep playing him the way you are, I googled, he played in 97% of Barcelona's games. 97% start rate, and he rarely gets subbed. That's a madness when you're playing in 3 different competitions like Barcelona. You have some weeks where you're playing 2 games in a week, plus international friendlies. He doesn't get a break during that international friendly period. He plays for Spain. He never gets a break in Barcelona, and here's what happened. This week, Barcelona was playing Celta Vigo, a pointless La Liga game. They are up 9 points in the table against Real Madrid. 9 fucking points. If I was a Barcelona fan, I would be fuming. But of course, what do we say to Barcelona fans?
Cry, little babies.
Cry, little babies. But of course, what happened is they elected to play this kid, start him, run him the whole game. For what? Real Madrid is terrible. I am telling you this as a Real Madrid fan. They are dog shit. They will surely drop more points. There was no reason for this. Pedri looked dead the entire game. Lamine Yamal got hurt. And what for what? So you could hold a 9-point lead as opposed to a 6-point lead? You have nothing to blame except yourselves for this happening. And then, lastly, this high risk, high reward nonsense even goes to their financials. This club is barely turning a profit. Looking at their net income sheet in 2025, they only made a $4 million profit. $4 million, Barcelona, because they are so desperate to catch up and get that 12th UCL. They are willing to spend whatever to sign players, and it is ruining them financially. They hold more debt than any other club. I get generations are going by. Children are becoming men. Men are having children. Older people that are Barcelona fans are dying, and they still haven't seen a UCL. It's been since Messi donned that jersey. I understand they're doing drastic stuff. They are jeopardizing the long-term sustainability of their club to sign players like Marcus Rashford. They could, in case you're not aware, financial fair play is in soccer for a reason. It's to prevent teams from self-destructing and by spending too much money. It's not a cap. It's literally in place because teams will spend more on player transfers than they can afford, and it messes up their balance sheets. It messes up the profitability of their club. They do this as a safety measure, and Barcelona has a hell of a time each year signing their players because they have so much debt liability, and it's from poor transfers in the past. And they even did a madness this year. Think about this. They gave away 25% of their TV rights, which is stable revenue streams, in a strategy called financial levers, to make short-term revenue so they could sign players like Marcus Rashford. Specifically, they took an offer from Sixth Street Investment for $600 million. That's a lot of money up front. But this is at the sacrifice of losing $1.5 billion over the course of 25 years just to sign players like Marcus Rashford. The return on investment on that is Marcus Rashford scored 6 goals. That is, they gave away $166 million of long-term revenue per goal of what Marcus Rashford scored. It's an insanity. This team is high risk, high reward. Good luck, y'all. This will not last. I'm going to pray to whatever God. I don't care if it's Allah, Buddha, or if it's Jesus Christ. I will pray for this young man, Yamal, and I will hope that Barcelona treats his body with a little more respect than carries him around and beats him into the ground like a cheap tramp, because he's better than that. You're better than that, Barcelona, even though you're a poverty franchise and you can't win a UCL to save your fucking lives. You're better than that. Treat Yamal with respect. That's all I have to say about those fucking bums. But let's move on to the Kings of Europe, the 15-time champions. Real Madrid. So how do we fix this mess that we currently have? I would suggest it's addition by subtraction. We have 3 left wingers on our team in Mbappe, Vinny Jr., and Rodrigo. We only need one of those players. We need to get rid of Rodrigo. That dude, I love you, Rodrigo. I will never forget the goal that you scored against Manchester City out of nowhere in the Champions League. He's always good for some Champions League magic, but his knee is cooked. I think he's hurt the same knee like 2 years in a row now. Apparently he was playing with a torn knee, which is just insanity. But he's got to go. I personally don't care if Vinicius Jr. or Kylian Mbappe leave this club. Whoever it is, just get the fuck out. I don't care. You, Florentino Perez, choose. Get one or the other out of the club. They are going to generate a ton of revenue. I don't care if you send in dictator. I don't care if you send dictator Mbappe to Saudi Arabia, where he can hang out with all the other dictators.
I already booked your flight to
and
Norwich.
I don't care if you send Vinny Jr. to Barcelona. I really don't. I don't care if you send him to PSG. I don't care where he goes. We just need one left winger on this team. We can't continue to play football games with 3 left wingers on the field, or even 2 left wingers. It's a madness. We need an actual formation. We need actual players to stay in their formation. I think what will happen is Vinny only has 1 year left in his contract. I think they might try to offload him. They certainly should offload Rodrigo. And let's take a look financially. I'm going to do something Barcelona does not do when they handle their finances. I'll actually make a cash balance statement. I don't think Barcelona has ever seen one of these. So here's what it is. So this is your cash balance sheet. So you have your assets on the left. These are your players. They can make you money. They cost money, but they can make you money. They can make you money because they can, they're great players. They produce results. They get fans to come to the stadium. People buy their jerseys. They can make you profit. The only liability from these players, besides Real Madrid's liabilities of them all playing on the left wing, is your liabilities financially are your player salaries. This does not bring any profitability to your company. What's up, buddy? Go ahead and sorry, I'm talking to my son again. These guys, liabilities won't bring you any profit, and these are their salaries. And if you look at this slide, Vinny Jr., as an asset, he's currently assessed to have $150 million value on the transfer market. Sell him right now. And Mr. Rodrigo, love you, dude, but $50 million that this guy is valued at. I would run to anyone. I would run to Barcelona and take $50 million. They couldn't afford that because they're broke, but I would take their whatever cash they're generating. I'm sure they would find a way to go further in debt to get Rodrigo. $50 million for Rodrigo is like a fucking steal. It's like going to a bank, putting a gun up to the teller's head and taking the money. We should take that. If you add that up, that gives us a good starting point of $200 million, which we would generate from those assets in transfer fees. And we would also further reduce the liabilities of our club. We pay Vinny Jr. $20 million a year. That wouldn't be on our books anymore. We pay Rodrigo $16.5 million a year to sit on the bench and be hurt. That would come off our books. So getting rid of those players would help us greatly. And there's more players I would get rid of too, which I call the midfield dead weight. Brahim Diaz, Camavinga, and I can't believe this guy is still on our team. Dani Ceballos has managed to survive at Real Madrid for 10 years. This guy is the king of the back pass. He's made a career out of passing to the side and going backwards. I believe, and I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure, he has not scored in La Liga in 5 years. That's crazy. I think if I played as much as Lamine Yamal, I might be able to put one in the back of the old onion bag. I would get hurt, surely, if I played the minutes like Lamine Yamal, but I think I could score at least 1 goal in a 5-year period in La Liga. It is crazy that this dude still has not scored at Real Madrid, and he's got to go. These guys have to go. Mr. African himself, Brahim Diaz, he can go. I hope he has... Sorry, I'm getting a charger for my phone. I need to upgrade here, but I hope Mr. Brahim Diaz has a sensational World Cup. I hope that the value of this guy just goes up and up and up. He doesn't bring anything to this team. His goals are even gone. His hold up play, he gets bodied so much. I've never seen a player get bodied as often as he does. He's got great feet, don't get me wrong, but if there's any type of physical presence or if the defender has any type of weight advantage on him, he gets bodied to death. He can only wiggle around like a little eel so much and try to get around defenders. It's crazy. And then lastly, you have Mr. Red Card himself, Camavinga. I'm not going to be a Barcelona fan and blame the refs for Real Madrid losing in the Champions League. It certainly contributed to them exiting against Bayern, but this man has not developed. Camavinga. He got the crucial red card that bring us down a man against Bayern Munich, and he's literally the same player that he was when he joined Real Madrid. There was all the potential in the world. He was supposed to be a defensive, midfielder that would solidify our team. He was going to be the replacement for Casemiro. It's just never materialized. And even the first couple seasons, what was great about him is he was never hurt. It seems like the last couple years, all he is on the sidelines, hurt. If he's not available and his form is garbage, we need to get rid of him. That's all I have to say about Camavinga. I also hope he has an outstanding World Cup. I don't know if he will make the French team on his current form this year, but if he does, I hope he gets in and he scores a goal and the value of all these players goes up. They all need to go, in my opinion, and this is going to give us even more revenue. Moving on to the next slide. The revenue that we will get, according to this website, Transfer Market Value, the transfer market value of Brahim Diaz is currently $35 million. Holy shit, I don't know who would spend $35 million on Brahim Diaz. Perhaps Barcelona, because they're financially dumb as hell. But I would deliver him to Catalonia myself. I would hop in a Fiat and drive him and drop his Moroccan ass over in Catalonia. He can hang out and get injured with the rest of the Barcelona players. $35 million for Brahim Diaz is a madness. We're selling him. I would also sell Camavinga. Thank you for your services. Thank you for getting us to 2 Champions Leagues. That's almost half as many as Barcelona has in their entire existence. But you need to go. And apparently we can get $50 million for this dude. $50 million for Camavinga is really good. And then also, lastly, I would give away Dani Ceballos for a bag of peanuts. Also, like for some, this is ridiculous. Let's upgrade it for a Cruz Campo beer, a good Spanish beer, which is like the Miller Lite of Spanish beers. I get rid of him for some olives and a Cruz Campo. We need to get rid of Ceballos. He's like a bad case of crabs. He just continues to stay at this club over and over and over and over again, over regimes. He's been there since like Cristiano Ronaldo. It's crazy with this guy. $8 million for him. Let's go, get rid of him. And then if you look on the other side, we're freeing up more money because more of their pay is coming off our books. They're no longer liabilities. We're paying Brahim Diaz $7.5 million to do nothing. We're paying Camavinga $12.5 million to be hurt. We're paying Dani Ceballos makes $5 million at Real Madrid. All this money would come off our books. And if you do the math, some simple math on all this, I know I have this down here. Oh, I have more players I want to get rid of before I end up doing all the math. These are players that are actually legitimately leaving. So I call this the offensive defense. David Alaba, he's cooked. He's also out of contract. And I believe Dani Carvajal is out of contract too. So these guys are gone. So though we won't get anything in transfer funds, we won't get any assets from them, we are getting rid of liabilities, which the biggest liability for them is their ridiculously large contracts. David Alaba, he literally gets $22.5 million at Real Madrid. This guy started 2 games at Real Madrid. It's crazy with him. 1 second. I'm going to check on my child real quick. Tristan, what do we say to Barcelona fans? Cry little babies. All right. My son's still alive. That's good. Back to the video. We were paying David Alaba, $22.5 million to be to sit on the bench and really be average over the last couple of years. It's shameful. We're getting him off the books. We're getting Carvajal off the books. That guy was getting $10.5 million. So our total liabilities that we're freeing up from contracts is $100 million. So that money can be used. We don't even need to use that towards transfer fees. We can use that towards player contracts. Our assets, the money we're making off of players transferring out, even though Carvajal and Alaba will be giving us no money in transfer fees, the sales of Vinicius Jr., Rodriguez, Brahim Diaz, Camavinga, Ceballos. Oh, and one last turd I forgot about, Fran Garcia. We're getting rid of him too. I didn't even include him. He's so forgettable. But we're getting $12 million for Fran Garcia as well. The sales of all these bums is going to generate $305 million in revenue for Real Madrid that we can in turn use for further transfers for the players that I suggest that we're going to get. And here we go. These are the players that we need to bring in. Or in my opinion, this next slide is the players that we will be bringing in, and I almost have 100% certainty that these will be our signings. And they are signings. I had a debate with a friend that was saying that some of these guys like Nico Paz and Jacobo Ramon, who have left the club, they once were owned by the club. They left the club. These guys are not on loan. We sold Nico Paz and we sold Jacobo Ramon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that, but we sold these two to Como in Italy. They are no longer on Real Madrid's books. Endrick is a loan. We'll be bringing back him on loan. So if you don't want to call him a signing, that's fine. But we literally sold Nico Paz and we sold Jacobo Ramon. It's just Florentino Perez is a smart owner, unlike Laporta at Barcelona. And in their contracts, there's buyback clause. So we can literally buy back the players and they will be transfers to us this summer. These guys, since they have left, have done a madness, a wonder in Como, one of the rising clubs over there in Serie A. Their player values have gone way up, which I'll show you in a minute, but their buyback clauses are very small. It's very minuscule. I think they're both $8 million, around that. These players are worth way more than that. This is something Barcelona isn't smart or savvy enough to do, but Florentino Perez, I will give him one thing. He might not care about winning right now, but he is financially savvy as hell. So these players on this screen, Nico Paz, he's a midfielder, a very good midfielder. Jacobo, whatever his name is, Ramon, I'm just going to call him Ramon. He's coming back. He's a center back. And then Mr. Endrick over there in La Liga, in Ligue 1 in France, the pistol's out. He's coming back for sure on loan. You don't have to call him a signing, but the other two will be signing. These players are incoming. I would say with 100% certainty, these cats are going to be back at Real Madrid. And if you literally look at our balance sheet after this, these assets that we're bringing back are going to cost us literally nothing, peanuts. We're still going to have a total of 305 in total equity for our transfers, which we're going to go over later. Now, if we're going over to the liabilities, there are some liabilities with bringing back these players, of course, because we have to pay these guys. We have a buyback clause for Nico Paz, which is going to be $9 million. We paid $9 million back for this guy. Right now, Nico Paz, his current estimated value on the transfer market is $65 million. $65 million. We are getting him back for $8 million. That is Florentino Perez, what he's good at. We sent this player off. We sold him. We are getting him back for $9 million, but his value is $65 million. And I'll show you why, because this man has scored 12 goals and had 6 assists in La Liga. That's better than really any midfielder, speaking La Liga-wise. Even better than the Barcelona Princess's sidekick, Pedri. He doesn't have that many goals, and I don't believe he has that many assists. We're getting a good player back in Nico Paz. Endrick is coming back as well. Endrick, he's valued at around $35 million as well. We're getting him back because he was on loan. We don't have to pay any money for this cat coming back. The only thing we have to do is pay his contract. And all of these guys that are coming back are getting around a $5 million contract. So that's some liabilities that are coming back. But and then lastly, Ramon, he's coming back. We need a center back. He can't be... 1 second, buddy. You can let him out. Sorry, that's my son again. we need a solid center back. He can't be any worse than the guys that we have. I welcome him with open arms. I don't know much about this player, but welcome back, Ramon, Jacobo, whatever your name is. He's coming back. We are only paying $8 million for a buyback clause for him. He's currently valued at $25 million. This is savvy. This is being a savvy business owner. This is caring about the long-term sustainability of your club and not bringing them into the dirt. This is something Barcelona simply doesn't do. And then you can see all of these buybacks and their player wages. This is going to cost us around $30 million. So you subtract that from the equity that we had before, and that leaves us with, so now we have $70 million to pay upcoming transfers. We got 3 players, and it only cost us $30 million in buyback clauses and their player wages. That's a masterclass. And we're getting a value of over, do the simple math behind this, we're going to say roughly we're getting $120 million worth on players. That's great business. That's something, once again, Barcelona doesn't do because they're scrubs. So the real question, and if you look on this next slide, is what will this penny-pinching asshole do with all the money that he accumulated here? So we have a transfer equity of, say, $300 million if we sell Vinicius Jr. Even if we don't sell Vinicius Jr. and we just sell Rodrigo, we still have 150 million euro. We have 70 million euros in player contract equity that we can use to sign. We can use to pay that revenue to players when they come back to our team. We also, even if we don't sell Vinny, we still have 50 million that we can use towards player contracts. This is a lot of money. And this comes into what I think, and I'm keeping this video as realistic as possible until the end. I do think that Endrick, Nico Paz, and Ramon will come into our squad. This is what theoretically I think we can get for remaining transfers, starting with the defense. So you can see this was our defense. This was our lineup in 2025. We have sold, or we have let Danny Carvajal go. His contract's up. We have let David Alaba go. His contract's up. Fran Garcia, walking the plank. We're selling his ass. So that leaves us with our center backs are highlighted in green. So we have Militao. We have Asensio. We have Rudiger. We have Dean Huijsen. Those are our center backs we have left. This is not a good look. Admittedly, Ramon will certainly help. He's coming in as a center back. I see him there at the bottom. So these are the center backs that we have. I would highly suggest Real Madrid brings in one more very strong center back. We don't need another guy like Dean Huijsen that's built like a 16-year-old girl that will get pushed around. He has no physical presence. He's very good on the ball, but I think he will be a regular starter next year. And I believe I would favor Militao in a starting role, or maybe this Jacobo Ramon, depending on how he fits in with the club. But the rest of the guys, Rudiger and Asensio, they're going to be rotational players. I think the most likely scenario that would happen is Konate from Liverpool coming on a free transfer. We all know Florentino Perez loves free transfers. It makes the most sense to me. We've been flirting with this guy for a while. He's saying he wants to go to Liverpool. I know it's like this scenario. It's thinking back to high school. Liverpool to Konate, whatever his name is, that is like the basic average mid girl. That she's all reliable. You know she likes you. You know that you can, probably finger bang her, in the back of the classroom. Great, whatever. That's a little vulgar. But at the end of the day, what he wants is the new hotness. He wants the sexy. He wants Real Madrid. That is the hot girl. That is like the prom queen. He wants to go there when push comes to shove and his contract's up and we offer him, let's say 10 million, per year for 5 years. He's going to go to the hot girl. It's just basic equation. So I think most likely he is going to come in. There has been rumors about this. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this dude's name. He plays for Borussia Dortmund. His name is Nico. He's a center back. He just signed a contract through 2031. He also has a very high transfer fee associated with him, which would be closer to 55 million euros. There's rumors surrounding this guy. I don't know much about him. I think he's a big, tall center back. which I would certainly like. There's no way Florentino Perez is spending $55 million on this cat. I just don't see those rumors being true. Now, the last thing is, you may notice I have all the center backs highlighted in green. All the left backs I have highlighted in yellow. We have Carrera, Zac Efron himself, and we have Mendy. We have 2 left backs. We just signed Carreras last year. It was 50 million euros for this cat. I don't know what happened to him. He was great the first half of the year. He turned into High School Musical Zac Efron and just got absolutely the shit kicked out of him against Elise. He is very good on the ball. He is good going forward. He's composed. He has great feet. I think he has a great left foot and right foot. I've seen him do crosses. He has potentials for that. If Mbappe would make a run in the box, and or if Vinny would pass the ball to this guy, because he's a willing overlapper of the ball. Overlapper of the ball means that he's willing to curl around Vinicius Jr., go down the touchline, and he makes those runs. Vinicius Jr., for whatever the reason, will not pass it to him. I like Carreras. He just really needs to work on his defending, and he really needs to maybe put on some muscle and some pounds to be a little bit more intimidating. Besides that, he will be the full-time starter next year. What's up, buddy? I will make you something in just a second. Yeah, I just made you a corn dog, bud. That's my son again. What do we say to Barcelona fans, buddy?
Cry little baby.
Cry little babies. So, Madrid fans might not like it, but Carreras is our starter. That man will be our left back for the foreseeable future. You don't spend 60 million euros on a player and not play him. As far as our right back, Trent Alexander, he's in that same boat. We got this guy to be our future starter. I think they should bring in a right back because he is literally our only right back on our roster after Carvajal leaves. And that's, once again, that's an inherently risky strategy, having Trent Alexander-Arnold as your defender. It's a madness. He is about as bad as a defender as Lord Vasquez, Lucas Vasquez. I don't know how this guy even became a right back. He's so good on the ball. I don't know why there hasn't been a player or a coach that has tried to get this guy to be a midfielder. Maybe his athleticism and pace isn't built for that, or he just can't run the hard yards like a guy like Jude Bellingham can do, which is extremely difficult. People knock on him all the time. Those yards are hard to run. Try running 10 miles at a sprint, for 90 minutes. It's hard to do. So maybe that's how he ended up back at right back. But to me, it's very risky having him as your only right back on the team because he's injury prone, and then we would probably have to drop Fede Valverde back there at right back, which wouldn't be, ideal for the organization. So I've heard rumors about this Diogo Dalta, this right back from Manchester United. I might be butchering these names. I'm just going to call him Diogo Dalta. And he's a Portuguese player. He's a very good right back from what I've read about him. I haven't seen him play a lot. I would love to take any right back right now would be a better defender than Trent Alexander-Arnold because simply he does not play. He does not defend. The guy is terrible. He's a classic ball watcher defender. What I mean by that is he doesn't watch his man. He doesn't look out for his touchline. Whenever the ball is central in the field, his eyes are glued on that ball and he loses the man behind him. The man will sneak in and make backdoor runs or far post runs, and that's how a lot of goals get scored against us. He's also not a particularly strong defender one-on-one. He has limited ability to physically push people off the ball, which is not a good trait in a defender. That's not what you want. I would say he is more quick than he is fast, so he can get beat by pure pace down the side. There's nothing about his defensive game that screams, this guy's a intimidating presence. He's in there to cross the ball into the box and for his offensive prowess. So certainly this right back from Manchester United, Dalta, would be a better option. And according to the transfer market, he would cost 30 million euros. So I'm in my hypothetical situation. As for bolstering our defense, which sure as hell needs a lot of work, I'm saying we get Konate on a free and we sign this Dalta guy at right back. And if we go back to our cash balance sheet, so we're having to shell out a little bit of money here. So as far as our assets, we're getting Konate on a free. So you can see that's zero. We're not paying any money for this guy. He's coming free, and then we're getting negative 30 million. We're shelling out for Delta, which is not that bad if he's a quality, right back. And that brings us our total equity for future transfers at $275 million. We still have a lot of money in our pocket, and we really help bolster our defense. We got a solid, strong center back in Kanate, and we got a depth and a squad player at right back in case the experiment with Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't work. And then, of course, we're going to have to pay it these guys. So if we go over to our liabilities, their current contracts, both at Liverpool and Manchester United, were around $5 million. That's very doable. So you just subtract $10 million from the total equity we have for available money for player wages. So that brings us down to $60 million we have remaining. So we have some $275 million that we can use for any more transfers, and we have $60 million that we can pay players. This is a lot of money, and I have one really big splash signing that I think that they should go for, which I'm going to wait for the end. But next is the midfield. The midfield, we've already established this. We're getting rid of Camavinga, gone. We're getting rid of Dani Ceballos, finally, gone. Selling these. We are bringing in for sure Nico Paz. Nico Paz is what do we say to Barcelona players?
Cry, little baby.
Cry? Go get your Cheetos out of the... Nico Paz is a good player. He's a good young player. He used to be an academy player. We sold him. We would be getting him back for 8 million euros. We went over this. He is surely going to be our midfield signing. We are not going to shell out a ton of money for a midfielder. We simply do not have a slot for a huge big time guy to come in this squad. We already have Jude Bellingham. We already have Valverde. We already have Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni is our center defensive midfielder for the next 8 years. He's not going anywhere. Arda Güler, he's not going anywhere. These guys all will be starters. Nico Paz will probably come in and play some solid minutes next year. And Nico Paz is a baller. I've seen some highlights of this kid. Serie A is a traditionally hard defensive league. It is hard to score goals there. It's not an offensive-based league. It's not like the Premier League. It's definitely not like La Liga. And he has had a great year. Look at that. 12 goals and 6 assists. That's better than Arda Güler. The return. I'm talking he might not be a better player than them, but his return of goals and assists is better than Arda Güler. It's better than Pedri. It's better than a lot of players. It's also better than players that we are being, suggested coming to Real Madrid. These are some of the names over here to the right that have been suggested coming to Real Madrid. It includes Rodri, whoever this Schmidt guy is. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading this because I'm old and blind. 2 Crystal Palace guys, and then Vitinha and Enzo Fernandez. I know who Vitinho and Enzo Fernandez is. I'm just going to tell you, these Crystal Palace guys aren't coming to Real Madrid. I looked up their stats. The guy from Crystal Palace, he has 5 assists. We don't need him. We need a player that's a high production guy. This Chema Andres guy, we do have a buyback clause from him. I could see that being triggered. He plays over in Germany. That is a possibility of taking him back. I, once again, don't know a ton about him, but that is a possibility. I don't see it happening. We have this buyback clause on him for the next 3 years. We may even be able to make some money if he gets sold. That's another thing Florentino Perez did. If these clubs sell the player, we get 50% of the future profit. I don't see him coming personally. I've been hearing Rodri's name a lot in the media, a lot when I do a Google search. I do not want Rodri. He would also cost around 65 million euros. I do not want this dude. He's about as old as me. He has bad knees. He only has 1 goal and 0 assists this year, and I think it was about 20 caps. This dude's best days are behind us. He would surely be a Eden Hazard-like signing. A lot of capital for little results. We make good investments at Real Madrid. We don't have investments that have little ROI, little return on investment like Barcelona. We don't do that madness. So please, Florentino Perez, don't do this. We do not need Rodri. We also do not need him in the dressing room. Him and Vinicius Jr. have been at it before. Basically, Rodri called Vinicius Jr. a little crybaby, which is true sometimes, but I just do not see those two getting along in the dressing room. We all know that Vinny should have got that Ballon d'Or, and he hasn't been the same since. So please don't induce that into the dressing room. Vitinha, this is a guy that I would love to have on Real Madrid. His stats don't pop out. He has only 1 goal and 8 assists in League One play, which is pretty much a farmers league. But the guy can bowl. I mean, universally, he's just a guy that can hold up play. He has great feet. He can facilitate the ball. But I will tell you one thing: this is not going to happen. His transfer market value right now is 110 million euros. I don't think 110 million euros is justified for a guy like Vitinha. I personally don't think Florentino Perez, because he's money pinching. I say this with all due respect because I appreciate their culture, and I too have been thinking about converting to Judaism. Oh, I apologize. It's an absolute madness. I got like cookie crumbs in my hair from my son, and the dogs bark. I'm living in an apartment right now temporarily, and it's crazy. Hopefully I get out of that, but I'm going to continue with this video. And I think I was on Vitinha. Yeah, I just don't see this happening. I don't see us spending 110 million euros on a midfielder. I don't think that is actually a good use of revenue, just simply because of the returns on the stats. Like, if you're going to spend 110 million, you need a guy that's going to bang in at least 20 goals, in my opinion. The most important thing in the sport is scoring goals. Even a Barcelona fan would agree with that, with their high line tactic. They want to outscore everyone. I just don't think Vitinha is going to get you, what you need there for 110 million. Now, if he was like 50 million, I would say go at it. But I don't see Perez doing this. And I was touching on it before the dogs were going crazy. Perez is a penny pinching Jew. Like, that guy, I love him to death. I love the Jewish culture. I have actually got into finances. I'm working on my MBA in finances and accounting, mostly because of the Jewish culture, and I'm thinking about converting to Judaism myself purely for their culture. But Perez is not spending 110 million on Vitinha. It's not going to happen. The last guy is Enzo Fernandez. He plays for Chelsea. He's a good little player. He has 8 goals and 3 assists this year. This guy is in love with Real Madrid. He had an interview recently. I think he's from Madrid, or he's Spanish. I could be wrong about that. He might have lived in Madrid or something like that. This guy's in love with Madrid. He even said in an interview he wants to play for Madrid one day. I just don't think it's now. He would cost us 90 million euros. Once again, Perez is not going to do this. If you're going to spend 90 million on Enzo Fernandez, you might as well pay the extra, I guess it would be extra 20 million to get Vitinha, because Vitinha is a better player. But I think really, when it comes to Real Madrid's midfield, we aren't getting any of the players that we're rumored with. We're just buying back Nico Paz. We also have Thiago Pichart. He's a good rotational player. He was an academy player. He will surely get minutes next year. So I think this is a solid core of players, for Real Madrid, especially if we sell Vinny and Mbappe moves over to the left. That will be key. And I'm going to go over, formation, which I think will work in another video. But you sell Vinny, Mbappe moves to the left. He will instantly be a better player. He is a player that is a left winger. This guy excels at using his speed and driving past players with his speed. He does not know what he's doing in the box, and he refuses to make runs. This midfield is talented enough if Vinny's gone and Mbappe's in the right position, and we have a striker like Gonzalo Garcia playing up top, or when Endrick comes back, we can throw him up top. He'll make those central runs. This midfield with Jude Bellingham, Fede Valverde, Tchouaméni, Güler, and with the addition of Nico Paz is good enough, to make that happen, to be competitive. I truly do believe that. The key is getting rid of Vinny. And then one last big signing, which I'll go over at the end. So that's what I think with the midfield. So going back to our cash balance sheet, we didn't do anything here. It's still the same. And by the same, I mean we still have, going into our offense, we have 275 million euros. in which we can use for transfer fees, and we have 60 million left to pay potential players coming into our team. We've already got Kanate coming in. We've already got Diago coming in, the right back from Manchester United. We have Nico Pass coming back on a buyback. We have Jacobo Ramon coming back on a buyback, and we have Endrick coming back on loan. So that's 5 players. We've already boosted our team significantly. Now we go on to the dream attack. We've got rid of the dead weight. We've got rid of Vinicius Jr. We've got rid of Rodrigo. And we've got rid of Brahim Diaz. We don't need these guys, in my opinion. We can move Mbappe out to the left. We can play Gonzalo Garcia down the middle. Or we can play Endrick. He's coming back down the middle as well. And then talking about this guy over here to the right. Oh, my God. This is Slim Shady himself, Mastantuono. Man, this kid... we paid $60 million for this kid. I don't even know if he's really a right winger. They've employed him at right wing during pretty much all of his starts. I'm trying to do something on this PowerPoint right now as I speak. But, yeah, they've played him at right wing for all of his starts. He was starting a lot at the beginning of the season, really doing nothing. He looks like Slim Shady. He has the same haircut. He plays like Slim Shady would on the soccer field. He needs to go on a loan right now. Like, I don't care what team it is. Send him anywhere. I don't care if he goes to a rival in Spain. I don't even care if he goes to Barcelona on loan and he has bangers against us, because surely we'll put a buyback clause in and get him back on our squad. But this guy needs a lot of first-team soccer somewhere else and not at Real Madrid, because he simply doesn't have it right now. He doesn't. The things that blow my mind with Mastantuono is this guy was like apparently a world-class talent. He played in River Plate, I believe it was, or Boca's maybe in Argentina. These are a hotbed for talented players down there. And you think you're getting, when you pay $60 million, you're getting a guy that has to be special in something, whether it's his passing, whether it's his dribbling, whether it's his, IQ, whether it's just his pure athleticism. Like, is he a speedster? Does he have trickery? Is he good in the box? Is he good at defending? This guy's chalk average at everything. I can't identify a part in this guy's game that is any good. And also, he drifts so far to the middle of the field. Watch him play. And next time you watch Real Madrid, watch him play. He doesn't even play on the right wing. He basically drifts in to like center midfield. I don't know if this guy played center midfield at his former club, but he sure as hell doesn't want to play right wing. He needs to go off on loan somewhere. We can play Endrick in that position. I think Endrick could be played up top as well. But, man, my boy Mastantuono, 60 million euros looks like a Barcelona-type deal. Bad return on investment, because that dude stinks. He has only had one good game against Monaco. I believe it was in the Champions League. He banged in a goal, but, man, he's pretty sorry. But, yep, as for my dream attack, now that I've established, we are getting Endrick back. We can employ him on the right. He is talented. He at least has great athleticism. He's a strong dude. He can shoot with both feet, which I love from him. He has a rocket of a left foot. He scores goals with his right foot as well. He also has a trait which I really like in a player, and that's I don't give a shit. I will shoot from anywhere. I wish Valverde had that in him, because he literally has a rocket of a foot. He's just afraid to shoot, Endrick will shoot from anywhere in the pitch, and you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So implementing Endrick into this team will just be a breath of fresh air. And like I said, in this new team, he can play up top or on the right. As far as rumored players coming, we have over here, if you look on the right, Victor Muniz. He's currently at Osasuna. He's the guy pictured on the left. I'll go over him in a sec. We have Victor Osimhen. I've never even heard of this cat. He plays in Turkey. I had to look him up. He plays for Galatasaray. I personally don't want this dude. If I've never heard of him and I follow soccer pretty hardcore, I don't want him. Also, he plays in a merchant, second-class league over in Turkey. So get him out of here. I wouldn't even consider him. Erling Haaland. Oh, my God. we aren't getting Haaland. That's not happening. One is Man City is not gonna sell this cat. He just signed a contract there. We would have to throw the absolute table to get this guy, and I don't think he's needed. I think Mbappe going to the left and Gonzalo Garcia, who's a traditional striker, playing in the middle solves a lot of our problems. If you want to go after Erling Haaland, great, but Florentino Perez is not going to do that. What is probably going to happen is, as long with Endrick coming back in the team, this guy, Muniz, who's pictured there on the left, he once again is another player that we sold to Osasuna. He was a Real Madrid player. We sold him, and we had a buyback clause. This, once again, to prove my point again, this would be a transfer because he is no longer on our team. He's not on loan. But we were smart, and we put a buyback clause for this guy, and I think we are going to buy back this player. And the reason being is because Barcelona has shown interest in buying this guy. He's a right winger. He's known for his pace. He might not look it, but this guy is fast. I've watched highlights of this dude. He's super fast. He has long distance speed as well, like line breaking speed. I don't know where he fits in this team with Endrick coming back, because surely Endrick would play over him. But I think Florentino Perez is so vain that he would be willing to sign this guy just because, or buy back this guy just because Barcelona is showing interest in him. I also don't want this man going to Barcelona and cooking, and then we had the chance to buy him back, and now Barcelona has him. So I think this guy for sure is coming to Real Madrid. So that leaves just one more player. And this is my one-on-one. If you're watching this, Florentino Perez, I've talked for over 40 minutes, maybe an hour in this video. I believe a lot of these signings are going to happen. If I had to say with a percentage of certainties, Nico Paz, Jacobo Ramon, and Endrick, those guys will be Real Madrid players. I am 100% certain of that. And Florentino will call two of those players signings, because they literally are. Two of them are on our team. We're getting buyback clauses. Endrick's coming back on loan. Those guys are coming for sure. As far as our defense, Konate, he will come on a free transfer. I do believe that. His flirting with Real Madrid is just going to be, it's going to be too much for him. He will leave Liverpool. And then I give that Konate deal more of like a 75% chance of happening. The kid from Manchester United, the right back, I think that's like a 50% probability. Who knows? It's hit or miss with them. We need a right back. He seems like a decent option. This Muniz thing, I think, is like a 80% chance, just because we don't want him to go to Barcelona. That leaves me with, we still have a ton of capital. Going back to it again, right now we currently have 275 million that we could use on a transfer. We have about 60 million that we could use for a signing bonus for player wages. There's one guy that we need on this team, and that Florentino Perez, if you are watching this, please come at the man, come at the hour. Jesus Christ, please get Elise on our team. He's a right winger. This is the guy we need. He is going to be expensive. Real Madrid is always good for a splash signing after the World Cup. This is the guy that we need. This guy is the answer. Whenever Cristiano Ronaldo came to Real Madrid, he was our left winger, and he didn't win shit, really. He won some poverty trophies, like he won a La Liga under Jose Mourinho. Those are Barcelona trophies. We don't want that at Real Madrid. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't win a Champions League until he got Gareth Bale. This guy, I feel like, is our Gareth Bale. This guy is our missing piece. We get Mbappe on the left. We have Gonzalo Garcia. We develop him into a Raul 2.0, or if we get him just the post up top, we get him distributing to these two dudes on the wings. Elise is our Gareth Bale. He will complete the trinity up there. That will be a dynamic duo. We do not need a prolific striker like Haaland. We just need a guy that's going to stay in the damn box and receive crosses from Kylian Mbappe and Elise on the left and the right. This transfer makes so much sense to me. I even said to one of my buddies a long time ago, before we got Gareth Bale, I remember seeing him play in the Premier League, and I was like, we need this guy. Like, he will complete this team. I think this guy will complete our team. Now, it's going to be a hard time prying him away from Bayern Munich. This guy scores. He has 12 goals and 18 assists this year. He made a pretty decent defender in Carreras, who's having a tough go right now in the second half of the season. But all around, Carreras he's a $60 million right back, or left back rather. He made him look like me out there, like trying to cover pros. Like, he took him to the cleaners, beat him like a redheaded stepchild. I haven't seen a madness like that. Even the great Barcelona princess himself, Lamine Yamal, wasn't able to do that against Carreras. Carreras had him in his back pocket the entire game. This guy gave Carreras the work. He had 2 assists and a goal over two legs. That's something Lamine Yamal hasn't even done. And I would say Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world. I will openly admit that. But this guy isn't too far behind. He's incredible. He reminds me of a young Arjen Robben. His whole game is predicated on driving the line and then cutting in to the left on his left foot. He has a brilliant left foot. He even curls the ball like Robben. Watch him. His game is he will beat the defender and then take him to the touchline, drive in across the 18, and then try curling one in. That's his game, but it works. I mean, you knew it was coming with Arjen Robben. He was going to try that tactic every time. He just made it work. Same with this kid. It's what he does, and he eventually scores a goal doing it. Now, this will not be cheap. As you can see on the slide, this is $140 million for this cat. I think it would be way more than that, too. And I'm being extremely generous here. Florentino Perez, this is all you have to do. Rounding this argument all together. So, we spend a total of $220 million we're going to give Bayern for this guy. So that goes under our assets right here on the bottom. We are losing $220 million, but we still have an extra $55 million left over in transfer fees, or what could be reinvested back into the club for whatever Florentino Perez wants. He could even add it to our, just add it as free cash flow into the organization, further proving our profitability. And then as for Munez, he comes in and he's only going to cost us a buyback of, what was it for him? Yeah, a buyback of $8 million for him as well. That's not a lot of money. You can see we would have to pay him, of course. So he's going to get $5 million as well. We will give Elise 20 million euros. That takes our total to negative 33 in liabilities for all these contracts. Bringing all these players in, we are still going to end up with roughly 27 million left over from getting rid of all of our players and bringing in all these players on buybacks and paying back all these and paying salaries of all these players. We end up having 27 million in leftover equity to sign more players if we want. This is to round this whole argument up. This is my dream team, and we can financially do it because we're not a poverty club like Barcelona. We have money in the bank. We have players that we can get rid of. We have dead weight. I just hope for once Florentino Perez just splashes. Let's make this team competitive. Let's get that 16th UCL. I've laid out the finances. You can have this, Florentino Perez. Just take this document. You will even have leftover money. Addition by subtraction. Get rid of players to re-sign players. Buy back your players. We will have a good team. I will put out a video on how I think this team would line up, but just off the top of my head, up top, you could play Endrick or Gonzalo Garcia, whoever's on better form at the striker. Mbappe on the left, Elise on the right. Your defensive midfielder, this is a 4-3-3. In the middle, you have Tuchemeni. On the left, you have Arda Güler. On the right, you can either play Bellingham at the right mid, or you can play Valverde at the right mid. I don't care. Valverde plays wherever. You know, in this team, he always has a spot. He can play any position, really, on the field, except minus goalkeeper. If you play Bellingham at right midfielder, play Valverde at right back. He could be legitimately one of the best right backs in the world if he committed himself to it. On defense, we would have Militao and or Dean Huijsen and Kanate as our starters at center back. And then you have Zac Efron himself at left back. And then we have the best keeper in the world, Courtois, in the goal. I think this is our route to the next UCL. I don't want to wait for it. I don't want to wait 12 years like the poverty franchise Barcelona, 12 years and counting. Let's get this done. Florentino Perez, I beg you, please follow through with this. As always, holla Madrid. If you like these videos, I'm MadridistaFitz. Please like and subscribe. Let's get these deals done. I really want to stick it to Barcelona and all those fans. Take care, y'all.
It's been 84 years